Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today,
a voyage for new possibilities for India as cruise tourism is in focus for expansion. We feature what Rajasthan has in store for visitors as tourism surges in the state. And highlights of Easter celebrations worldwide.
India is setting sail on a new voyage that unlocks its rivers, coastlines and islands like never before. Cruise tourism in the country is no longer just a luxury, it's a fast-growing sector driving economic growth, job creation and global attention.
Cruise tourism isn't just travel, it's an experience that brings the world to your shores. In India, this experience is expanding like never before. It's becoming a serious economic engine, tapping into over 20,000 kilometers of inland waterways and 7,500 kilometers of coastline to create unforgettable journeys. India has 12 major and 200 minor ports, and that's just the start. With 110 navigable waterways connecting about 400 rivers, cruise tourism unlocks access to even remote corners of the country. A series of initiatives, from policy reforms to major infrastructure upgrades, are being executed nationwide. Enter the Cruise Bharat mission, launched from Mumbai port in September 2024. The goal? Double cruise passenger numbers by 2029 and clock over 1.5 million river cruise tourists by then. In financial year 2023-24, the number of cruise passengers was 471,000. The Cruise India mission will be implemented in 3 phases until 31st March 2029. Phase 1 will focus on groundwork, conducting detailed studies, master planning and forging cruise partnerships with neighboring countries. Phase 2 will bring infrastructure into the spotlight, developing new cruise terminals, marinas and destinations to unlock high-potential cruise circuits. Phase 3 aims at seamless integration, connecting all cruise routes across the Indian subcontinent while continuing to enhance the cruise ecosystem with expanded terminals and marinas. But it doesn't stop at the ocean. River cruise tourism is now one of the hottest trends in India's leisure sector. In January 2023, India made waves globally with the launch of MV Ganga Vilas, the world's longest river cruise. This record-breaking 3,200-kilometer luxury expedition travels from Varanasi to Dibrugarh across 27 rivers in 5 states. Besides developing national waterways, IWAI is working with the Bangladesh government to promote river tourism along the Indo-Bangladesh Protocol route, which can enable Indian cruise vessels to pass through Bangladesh and explore heritage sites. These efforts align with the government's ambitious Maritime India Vision 2030, which envisions transforming India into a global tourism hub. With the right push, the Indian cruise market is projected to grow nearly 8-fold over the next decade.
Rajasthan is one of the top tourism destinations in India. The state is famous for its rich royal heritage, magnificent palaces and forts. But do you know what experiences are in store for those who love wildlife? Let's explore what Rajasthan has to offer.
Padharo Mahare Desh, welcome to my land. The words echo with warmth, inviting the world to witness a state where royalty breathes through the sands of time. Rajasthan, India's largest state by area, isn't just a place you visit. It's where history, culture, and color come alive. In 2024, Rajasthan saw a major tourism boom. Over 230 million domestic and 2.1 million foreign tourists came to experience its magic, a jump of 28% and 21% respectively. The Pink City, Jaipur, recently became a cultural hotspot, hosting a grand celebration under the banner of Padharo Mare Desh. Zee Rajasthan and WION came together to celebrate the cultural heritage, royalty and hospitality of Rajasthan at this gala event. Let's take a look at how Rajasthan is capturing everyone's mind and heart. The state is home to 9 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including Jaisalmer Fort and Amer Fort. Rajasthan's heart beats in its traditions, from the mesmerizing Bhavai and Kalbilya folk dances recognized by UNESCO to its vibrant festivals like Jaipur Gangaur Festival and Pushkar Camel Fair. The desert town is also known for its colorful Holi festival. And the food? It's a flavorful journey. Spicy lal mas, classic dal bati churma, the earthy kher sangri and the sweet crunch of khevar. Wildlife lovers are also in for a treat. From the bird watchers' haven at Keoladeo in Bharatpur to thrilling tiger sightings at Ranthambore. Or how about the lesser-known leopard's paradise in Javai? Whether you love history, live for culture, or just want a taste of royal luxury, Rajasthan has something for everyone.
Easter celebrations worldwide were sadly marred by the demise of Pope Francis. Let's look at some of the highlights of how people observed Easter.
Easter, the most significant celebration in the Christian calendar, commemorates the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, a central event in Christian belief. The date of Easter shifts each year, determined as the first Sunday following the spring full moon, and follows 40 days of Lent marked by fasting and prayer. Holy Week with Palm Sunday, recalling Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. Good Friday honors the passion and crucifixion of Christ. Easter Sunday celebrates what Christians believe to be Christ's resurrection. This year, Catholics and Protestants, who follow the Gregorian calendar, and Orthodox Christians, who use the Julian calendar, celebrate Easter on the same day, a rare convergence. Traditions vary worldwide, but often include the ringing of bells, symbolizing joy after mourning, and the decorating of eggs, a custom that harks back to ancient symbols of life and rebirth. Let's look at some unique ways Easter was celebrated around the world. Belgian beer enthusiasts swapped chocolate eggs for chilled brews on Easter Sunday, taking part in a unique beer hunt set in the historic gardens of a centuries-old abbey in Lazen, just 20 kilometers south of Brussels. In its fourth edition, organizers proudly claim the event is the biggest beer hunt in the world, with over 10,000 bottles of beer hidden across the grounds. Dressed in quirky costumes and armed with baskets, carts, and even treasure maps, participants embraced the festive chaos with clever strategies and a thirst for adventure. Among the hidden prizes was the elusive golden bottle, the key to winning the grand prize, the finder's weight in beer. Drawing around 1,000 hunters each year, the event has become a beloved tradition for both locals and international beer lovers looking for a fizzy twist on Easter fun. Ethiopians observed Easter, or Fasika, with messages of sacrifice, love, and peace. Powerful themes in a country navigating armed conflict, economic strain, and social unrest. In Addis Ababa, worshippers gathered in large numbers at Bole Medanielem Church for Good Friday services. Priests urged the faithful to reflect on the profound meaning of Jesus' sacrifice and resurrection, calling for unity and compassion in difficult times. Across the capital and the nation, churches held long spiritual ceremonies that culminated in the breaking of a 55-day fast, observed by many Christians, particularly those in the Orthodox community. Riders and horses donned their finest attire on Easter Monday, April 21st, for the time-honored Georgi Ride in Bavaria, a tradition steeped in faith, heritage, and pageantry. Named after St. George, the patron saint of horses and protector against plagues, the procession is a spiritual and cultural celebration. In pairs, riders guide their horses through scenic village paths to the local church, where a priest blesses the animals with holy water in a ceremonial moment of reverence and community. The Georgi Ride is more than a festive gathering. It symbolizes devotion and rural tradition. Since its founding in 1891, the St. George's Society has worked to preserve this historic custom as a reminder of resilience, faith, and the bond between people, animals, and the land they call home. On Easter Sunday, April 20th, the streets of Lagos Island burst into colour and rhythm as the annual Fanti Carnival took over, blending Afro-Brazilian traditions with vibrant local culture. Crowds lined the streets to watch as dancers in dazzling coordinated costumes moved in sync with the infectious beats of traditional samba. The Lagos Fanti Carnival is one of the city's most enduring cultural celebrations, with roots in the 19th century. It began when formerly enslaved Africans, known as the Aguda, returned from Brazil and brought the spirit of carnival. In Lagos, those traditions merged with Yoruba customs to create something unique. This year's festivities were backed by the Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture in collaboration with the Brazilian Consulate. This is part of a larger effort to preserve cultural ties between Nigeria and Brazil, while positioning Lagos as a vibrant hub for heritage tourism. But without a doubt, the event that shook the world this Easter was the passing of Pope Francis. Although the late Pope had been sick for a while leading up to this Easter holiday, he made an appearance to the crowd on Easter Sunday before passing away on Monday this week. The Catholic world will now see a new Pope emerge, and the time-honored tradition will continue as it has for many centuries.
In Italy, the ancient city of Pompeii was buried in ash after the eruption of Vesuvius in 79 AD. An excavation in March unearthed 2 sculptures that have become the stars of new exhibits in Pompeii.
A nearly life-sized funerary relief of a man and a woman uncovered in Pompeii this March has become the centerpiece of a compelling new exhibition. The sculpture once adorned a monumental tomb at the Porta Sarno necropolis and is believed to depict a married couple with the figures seated atop a large wall flanked by niches. Intriguingly, the woman's detailed accessories suggests she may have been a priestess, a clue that has inspired deeper exploration into women's lives in ancient Pompeii. The discovery emerged from the research project investigating the archaeology of death in Pompeii, led by Universitat de Valencia in collaboration with the Archaeological Park of Pompeii. Now the sculpture stands at the heart of a new exhibition titled Being a Woman in Ancient Pompeii, which sheds light on women's multifaceted roles in Roman society. Visitors to the exhibition can examine the sculpture up close before it undergoes restoration and explore a collection of everyday artifacts that once belonged to Pompeii's women. Gold bracelets and earrings, combs, perfume vials, frescoes, statues, and even gynecological tools, all offering a vivid picture of their lives. Pompeii's exceptional preservation allows scholars to trace the life stages and societal roles of women, from matrons to freedwomen to enslaved people, across birth, childhood, marriage, motherhood, and death. The exhibition delves into these women's professional and public lives, highlighting figures ranging from weavers, bakers, and vendors to prostitutes and powerful entrepreneurs who helped shape the city's economy and social fabric. Notably, one exhibit room celebrates female business owners who launched ventures that changed Pompeii while also addressing the harsh realities faced by the estimated 100 women working in prostitution, some enslaved, others independent. Being a Woman in Ancient Pompeii runs until 31st January 2026, offering a rare and moving glimpse into women's experiences nearly 2,000 years ago. Walking around the Pompeii Archaeological Park, tourists are immersed in an entire ancient city buried in ash, which might make you reflect on the risks of living on a volcano. Meanwhile, in nearby Naples and Pusuli, on the other side of Mount Vesuvius, hundreds of thousands live on top of Campi Flegrei, a supervolcano. Have we not learned from the historical example of Pompeii? Are human lives at risk now too? As volcanic and seismic activity wakes up from a deep sleep, the ground in the Phlegraean fields located atop Campi Flegrei have risen recently. Although this volcano is one of the most monitored volcanoes in the world, if this volcano blows, it could be devastating beyond our wildest imaginations.
Revered for its rich history, artistic treasures, and cultural splendor, Venice is where time feels suspended. But as mass tourism continues to swell, the city has now taken a bold step to safeguard its fragile beauty and heritage by charging day trippers a tax to enter.
For centuries, Venice has enchanted the world. With its shimmering canals, Gothic architecture, and breathtaking piazzas, the Italian lagoon city has remained one of the most magical and popular travel destinations on Earth. In order to protect its sanctity, the city has officially reintroduced a daily access fee for short-term visitors, marking the second consecutive year of this controversial measure to manage excessive tourism. Travelers not staying overnight in the historic center must pay between $5 and $10 to enter the city on select dates. The fee is part of a broader effort to address the strain millions of tourists place on Venice's infrastructure and help preserve its status as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site. Though UNESCO chose not to list Venice as a site in danger after the initiative was announced, critics argue the tax has done little to ease the influx. Visitors who register in advance at least 3 days before arrival, can access the city for $5 using a QR code. Those who arrive without prior registration will have to pay double. This year, the fee will apply on 54 days, up from 29 days last year. It will primarily be enforced during weekends and holidays from 18 April to 27 July.
First, we have an instrument that lets us know in advance how many people will arrive in the city, so we can organize services on the basis of the numbers of people we can expect. Second, we communicate in advance to day trippers coming to Venice that Venice is a city with rules and measures that have to be respected because it is fragile and unique. It has dynamics that include the transport of pedestrian traffic differently than other cities.
During the pilot phase last year, the city collected $2.4 million from the tax. However, the operational costs reached $2.7 million, overshooting the fees collected. Authorities now anticipate a positive margin in 2025, expecting a surplus of about €1 million to €1.5 million. In 2024, approximately 450,000 day trippers paid the entry fee. So far this year, 77,000 visitors have already registered. Around 117,000 people have applied for exemptions, which are granted to those paying property taxes in the city, studying or working in the historic center, or living in the wider Veneto region, among others. This recent policy, though, has still not managed to deter visitors. The average number of daily visitors on the first 11 days of 2024 that Venice charged day trippers was 75,000, 10,000 more than the previous year's busiest holidays.
That's all we have on the show for you this week, but we will return with more travel content next weekend. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.